Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chop and Slice. My name is Michael. How are you guys? This is
Brandon.
We are here to review
Cabin Fever
2002.
Yeah. Finally excited. We're doing an Eli Roth film, one of my favorite directors.
The debut film of Eli Roth.
That's right. The debut film. He actually got this Cabin Fever idea when he first wrote it back in 1995. He actually got this skin infection on his neck. I think he went to Iceland for like a horse training thing, and he was cleaning up like hay and stuff, and then all of a sudden he got this itch on his neck, and then he was actually shaving, and parts of his flesh from his neck was peeling, and then he went to like a foreign hospital there in Iceland where they like spoke a different language, and it turned out that it was just like a bad case of ringworm, and that's what inspired him to write the film Cabin Fever, where it's more exaggerated. But he said that it actually felt good when he was like peeling his flesh off because it was just so itchy or something. I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, overall, I think this film is an absolute masterpiece. I enjoyed it. It's kind of like, we're used to kind of watching things like Friday the 13th, bunch of kids going out to camp somewhere, and you're expecting like an axe killer, but this is just a flesh-eating virus. So it's something new, something different, and Eli Roth really knocked it out of the park with this one. Michael, what's your thoughts on it?
What do you mean? Like, just as a movie?
Just your general thoughts on it. What do you think?
It was better back in the day. It really doesn't age too well, in my opinion, but it's an okay film. Not bad. It's something different. I'll give it that. A lot of talking. I remember a lot of more action from what I thought I remembered, but it's all right. As a kid, it'll scare you. Today, I've seen it all, so it's okay. It's a pretty middle of the road film. I mean, nothing too spectacular, but
come on, being lame. This was a great movie.
Not as good as I thought it was that I remembered, but it's okay. It's not bad.
Classic movie. We even get a cameo of Eli Roth. He played as Justin. He was just kind of like some stoner dude, which he actually ends up dead later in the film, where you see his body, a bunch of like worms and shit.
I do like the idea of the movie, though. It is a very interesting idea. Pretty brilliant idea. Something different, It's not a person killing or a ghost or anything like that. It's an infectious disease. That's kind of different. So I'll give it that.
And also, Quentin Tarantino, I always have a hard time saying his name, but he saw the movie and was very impressed with Eli Roth's work, and then they kind of had a partnership when going into Hostel. So, and Hostel is another great film that will be coming soon. But Cabin Fever, that's where it began with Eli Roth.
Yep.
Want to talk about some of the characters? What do you think of some of the characters?
Paul was a douchebag, but he was kind of like the main protagonist. Then you had Karen, who she gets infected first.
Right.
Marcy's kind of like, she's kind of like the wild chick.
Yeah, freaky.
Bert is like another douchebag, kind of thinks he's cool and tough, and he causes a lot of issues in this movie. And Jeff is kind of like the asshole guy. So
yeah, I think you described them all pretty well. I do think it was shitty, bro, the way they just locked Karen in the shed like that.
And I agreed that it was the right thing to do, in my opinion.
You could have just left her in the room and tried to help her in some way. That was just so shitty.
Maybe he left her in the room, but who knows? There's really nothing they could do.
And the way, especially when they were trying to like load up the truck to try to get to a hospital and shit, like I don't know why they didn't just throw her in the trunk, and just everyone go. I mean, you guys have been touching blood everywhere. It's like all of you are more than likely infected. Just everyone just get in the car and just go, but of course never goes out that way, I guess.
Nope.
But I don't think it was right locking her up in the shed, in my opinion. But one of the scenes that got me the most was when she was shaving in the bathtub.
Yeah, that was pretty disgusting. How she was peeling her own skin at that point.
She kept going too. It was like, oh my god.
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Yeah, it's a tough.
It's really hard to find out like where this is coming from, though.
Yeah.
Like, is it coming from the water? Is it coming from the blood? Well, I think what's going on is initially it comes from the water, but then when someone's running around, coughing up blood on people, it's causing more people to get it. But I think the water is the main source.
Main source is the water.
Right. And so,
which everybody ends up getting it except for the main douchebag.
Yeah, that douchebag. Yeah, what was his name again?
Jeff.
Jeff. Yeah, he ends up not getting it, but in the end, I think he got what he deserved.
He didn't deserve that either, though.
Yeah, he did. He was a fucking prick, and he just left them all behind. And
he was trying to protect himself. I don't think.
Yeah, protect himself.
Right.
Yeah, he's a selfish fucking prick.
No, he's not.
Would you do that with your friends? Just
if they were being their flesh eating disease, yeah. Screw you! I'm not dying too. You guys are already dead. She was already dead when she got it. There's nothing she can do.
You're an asshole, man. I think I'm starting to learn more about you.
There was nothing he could do. So yeah,
he could have stuck around and helped.
With what? What are you?
I would have helped.
And he would have got the disease and died.
Well, whatever. I'm not gonna be an asshole. And who knows? Maybe you all could have survived. Well, they all did go to the hospital. Well, not all of them, but the one guy
burned.
Yeah, that is true.
Their bodies were burned alive by the cops who eventually end up getting it too. We find out.
I don't know how they weren't getting it initially, though.
They probably just started.
It seemed because it seemed like they had this all pretty well orchestrated.
No,
they've done this more than once.
I don't think so.
And
they asked the guy. They asked Paul where he was drinking or how'd he get it, and he didn't give them an answer. They didn't know, so they just said, "Screw it, let's kill them all and get rid of them, and hopefully it works out." So it's kind of unfortunate. And then that kid who kept biting everyone, he definitely has it now too. Looks like the whole town has it at the end.
I don't know what was up with that kid, Dennis.
That was so random. That's so stupid. Eli Roth likes to put in random weird characters sometimes. So that was very random.
Yeah, he just goes and sits next to this kid and he just bites him.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it seemed like it was kind of orchestrated because in the beginning when they go into that convenience shop, the guy that was running the register, he mentions to them to be careful when you go out in the woods, and then they eventually get interrupted by something, and because she had asked be careful of what, and then it kind of goes to something else.
They do that in every woods movie, though. Look at Friday. You always that one weirdo.
That's because he knows what's going on out there. So somebody knows what's going on out there.
Or the weirdo in Wrong Turn. Oh, don't go into the woods. There's things out there. That's just a horror movie trope. They really didn't know what was going on, or else they wouldn't have been drinking that water. Saw when the kids went to go get the water in the lake or whatever. They filled up a whole bucket of a Gatorade tin full of that water.
And then they
Made lemonade out of it.
Yeah, made lemonade out of it.
So all the townspeople that went over there was a bunch, all have it now. So that sucks.
And I don't know how you would cure something like that.
No, I don't know either. Yeah, there just wasn't a whole lot to this movie. Just nothing to like grab, bite down on storyline wise. It was pretty self-explanatory, but nothing to really like hold on to in terms of storytelling or anything. I mean, it was your typical 2000 mid early 2000 horror movie, in its own fashion.
Early 2000 did have a good string of horror movies, though.
Yeah. This one's alright. It's not a bad one. It's not a terrible one. It's not the best one. It's alright. I like the name Cabin Fever. That's a cool name.
Yeah, it's got a cool, catchy name. I enjoyed all the characters. I thought Eli Roth did a great job in casting. Everyone did good. People, like, they actually, it felt like they were, like, really scared and didn't know what to do. You know, the characters, like, actually looked, like, confused, like, oh my god, what's going on? Like, what you would do in that situation.
Yeah.
I do feel like some of it was a little bit overreacted, especially that one douche waving around the shotgun.
Yeah, that was a little much. Bert.
You know, he was over the top. I think Bert, that was his name.
Yeah, the guy puking out blood left and right. That was a little much.
Yeah, there was some over the top stuff.
And the characters in this one are dumb as usual, per usual. They're not very smart.
Well, they tried to do everything they could. They tried to get the mechanic out there, and they had this idiot fucking cop, Winston.
Yeah, that character was just.
Want a party? You the party man.
That character was stupid. I don't understand that. That was very random. I forgot he was even in that movie, to be honest. I haven't seen it.
There's a lot of that. You know, they're trying to figure out just how to get out of there, how to get to a hospital. They're trying to get the mechanic. I mean, they're doing pretty much what you would do in a real life situation.
Characters just aren't very likable.
Then you had this crazy dog running around. Kind of reminded me a bit of Cujo, a little bit.
Yeah, there was this dog from the dude who originally got infected in the beginning of the movie. So I don't know. It was okay. It kills some time if you need a new horror movie to watch that you haven't seen. It's a decent movie.
It's definitely worth watching. It's something different.
Yeah, give it one watch.
You know, it's not like something that's been done over and over again, like Friday the 13th, you know, or you going out somewhere, like wrong turn, you know, taking a vacation somewhere, and, you know, there's a crazy dude out there axing people. So it's different. That's what I like about it. It's very different. It was genius, I would say. And lots of great stuff. Movie was success. It took pretty well to most viewers.
That was okay. I mean, they do have some sequels too that I have yet to see.
I have not seen Cabin Fever 2. I just never got around to it, but I have seen the remake, and I enjoyed the remake too.
They have a third one too.
Yeah.
Patient Zero. 20% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's not great. So
the remake, it was basically the same thing as this one. It just, the blood was just more over the top. And
same exact movie. Same exact movie. There's no difference.
Yeah, it was a total remake of the first, just with way more blood added.
Yeah.
To it. So
this one's definitely better though. This is the OG. So crazy. It does put you in a unique situation if you're one of the cast members, going through everything they've gone through. You know, you have to make that choice. Do you risk your own well-being for your friend who's already done. I don't know. I don't know. That's a tough.
Man, he really turned into an asshole. That girl really
That
was
was part
starting
of
to
the disease.
was really starting to like him. That Karen.
No, I don't buy that because she got awfully close to Eli Roth's character when he sat by her, and she was all smiley and all
Well, because he had
googly eye.
weed. Everybody
Yeah,
was
well, she
smiling
seemed
when
to
he.
forget all about him. I don't
And
think
and
that
then
was
while she's dying in that shed, he goes and fucks that other girl.
well.
He turned into a real fucking prick.
That's part of what the disease does to you. I think it affects you like that.
Dude, that was hard to watch, man. While she's laying dead in that shed, and he's just wow.
You know how it is.
And then goes in there. Would you have done this? Gone in there and beat her with a shovel?
I would have shot her.
Yeah.
He had a rifle.
At that point, yeah, I would say go in there and put her out of her misery. Her face was all messed up, and
Yeah,
yes,
it was brutal.
to do it to stop the suffering, but he just beat her with a shovel. That was it was horrible. Why would you do that? I think he even had the gun in his hand,
Yeah,
and just dropped the gun to beat her to death with a shovel. So I don't know what drove him to do that. That was.
it was
Ugh.
interesting. It was interesting.
He should have. Oh my god. Wow. Wow. And that image sticks with him when he's laying in the hospital too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's something you can never forget.
He pretty much dies rather quickly. I don't ever think they showed his death.
It just shows him laying dead, like near the.
Oh yeah.
Pond. But it's. I don't know if it's a pond or a river. It's more like a stream.
Then he goes and infects other people and stuff.
Yeah.
It's stupid. That whole scene at the end where he shows up at that party, he docks a guy's guitar shot. Like some dude has a guitar and kills his friend with a guitar. It's so stupid. Didn't need to be put in the movie. That was stupid.
How I think this movie should have ended is he should have survived and just lived with that for the rest of his life.
That would have been
I
good.
think that would have been more traumatizing.
But yeah, it kind of ended pretty good though. It set up something like now all the townsfolk got it. You know, probably the CDC has to come in and wipe them out to figure out a cure or something for that. So, oh, very interesting. But let's get to the ratings. As a movie, like I said, as a whole, it's okay. I enjoyed it when I was a kid. I used to watch it quite frequently because I just remember growing up and enjoying this movie. Going back and watching it, it didn't hold up as well as I thought it would. I haven't seen it in probably 10 years. So, with that being said, as a whole, the characters just don't stand out to me very much. I'll give it a solid 5.5 out of 10.
5.5 out of 10.
It just missed the boat on a lot. I mean, it was different, interesting for its time. I'll give it that. At its time, it works, but nowadays, I don't see it.
So
Brandon, yep.
For me, I absolutely adore this movie. It's great. I'm going to give it a 9.5.
Holy shnikes.
Out of 10, baby. It was good. I loved it. It's a very refreshing film. It's definitely one of Eli Roth's best, most notorious. I personally love the characters in the movie. I thought they were funny. A lot of their comments and dialogue was pretty funny. And just, it found me, like, wanting to turn away at some scenes. There were some scenes in there that was very hard to watch, and that's what I like about it. It got you uncomfortable. It gives you this uneasy feeling. I guess the only thing that really brings the points down for me is, I guess, really just the overreacting that they were doing, I guess.
Yeah.
Some of it was just a little over the top, but other than that, this is an absolute masterpiece. Well done, Eli Roth.
I think that's a stretch, but it's your opinion. So, with that being said, what would that bring us to?
that leaves it at an official Chop and Slice rating. You gave it a 5.5. I gave it a 9.5. So that, my friend, leaves it at a 15 out of 20.
That's pretty good.
That is
Not
pretty good.
terrible. We'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
So, guys, yeah, this movie, like I said, it is what it is. Go check it out if you haven't seen it. You'll probably like it on first viewing. It's just I've seen this movie prior to this. You will probably enjoy it on first viewing. It's pretty good on first viewing, not knowing what's happening or not knowing what to expect. So I'd go give it. Now you kind of know what to expect if you listen to this, but if you haven't seen it, you can still go see it. It's worth watching at least once. It's definitely different enough from all the other horror films. There's no slasher. It's not paranormal. It is very interesting as a movie as a whole.
And if you like a lot of blood, there's a lot of...
It's a very unique concept created by Eli Roth. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I respect this movie, man.
He's a pretty decent director.
I would say so.
He's not the greatest, but he is pretty good.
He's one of the greatest.
John Carpenter. But yeah, that's a discussion for another day. Alright, guys. So, with that being said, any final words?
I guess don't
drink tap water. Go buy bottled water. Nice,
yeah, there's like parasites and shit.
Yeah, so. Don't be going out in the woods and drinking water from a lake. I wouldn't trust that. So, with that being said, thank you guys. Please like and subscribe if you'd like. If not, then go drink some tap water.
All right. Peace.
Peace out, guys. Love you. Chop and Slice for the win. Woo!